thought I'd update you guys on this thing too. It did pretty good. Carb needed cleaning again, but you guys seen that on the trail ride there. Got the alternator hooked up, just temporarily. Doesn't have a start switch or anything, but for now it works. So we had tuning issues last time, got that fixed, so now it actually runs good again. I ended up taking some bad gas out of one of the bikes, which had rust in the tank, and I figured that this fuel filter would filter it out, but it doesn't. This fuel filter is a really shitty one. Oh, well, what do you know, it's even a Briggs & Stratton fucking fuel filter. So anyway, all the rust chunkies and shit went straight through the filter in the carb and clogged it up all to hell. And I mean, there was literally piles of rust in the bottom of the carb. That's how much made it through the fuel filter. So, basically, yeah, I just tore the whole thing apart without taking it off, actually. But, got that all cleaned up, so it runs good again. But as you've seen in the video, I was having clutch issues. And at first I thought it was the water, but now that I've got it home, it's still having clutch issues. So there's a couple things. Oh, it started leaking right here, which as far as I can tell is the main crank seal, which friggin' sucks, because that means I gotta pull it. Oh, wait a minute. The whole block's wet. Oh, interesting. Well, I have to do some further investigation, but before I took it out trail riding, it wasn't leaking. So either something's come loose or something has broken. Because yeah, it wasn't leaking before. And now the whole block's kind of oily, and I noticed there's oil on the bottom of this guy too, so I'm gonna have to go over it, but that could be partially clutch issues, oil getting on the belt. So tires did pretty good for, you know, what they are and how much I paid for them and stuff. Tires actually did really good. I was having more clutch issues than anything, especially towards the end of the day there. Ah, come on. Get this jack under here. Makes it a lot easier to show you guys how the steering works. Yeah. I wanted to do a steering video a lot earlier. But one thing I really hate doing is putting up a video and then having whatever it is I build fail like 2 days later. And then you have a video where you're like, oh, I just built this awesome steering system, and 2 days later it fucking broke. You know what I mean? Like, and then you gotta either take down your initial video or, you know, put up another video explaining all that crap, and I'd rather avoid all that shit and test my builds first. You know, before I go saying, oh, this is an awesome idea, it works great, and then, you know, you find out it was a really, really shitty idea and it didn't work at all. So now that I've actually trail ridden my new steering, I can actually vouch for it. I even hit a couple big stones with the steering, and to be honest, I was surprised it didn't break. Okay, so what we have here, oh, it's a little more than finger tight. You know what, if you guys give me a sec, I'll pull the tank and let you see a little better. More gas in there than I thought there was. There, go over there. Oh, I just hope it doesn't get any gas on my fender. Alright guys, so now you can see how all this works. So here, right here, we have a tempo tie rod ender or something. Yeah, I think it's a tie rod end. Oops, got some grease on the deck. It's not good to get grease on your deck. It's not the right type of lube and stuff. Alright. As you can see right there, I actually have like a bike bearing handlebar mount thing. And the reason I used one of those is because I've done many of endos on mountain bikes and stuff like that. And this bearing housing is not the weak point. The weak point is actually right about here. I've snapped several sets of forks right here just by doing endos and hitting the brakes hard enough. Like on that chopper, come down a good ass hill fast enough, hit the front brakes, they'll fold right under. So I know the bearings are good and strong. You can hit trees and stuff like that, and they always seem to hold up. Plus, bearings for that are easy as crap to get. Steal them from there. Steal them from any bike you can find. Brand new bearings. Also, because of the way this is built, it comes apart. So I can remove the handlebars, remove this, and pull the whole assembly through the bottom, replace both bearings, put it back together, or change handlebars if I want to easily with no welding. Also, if I hit a tree and the steering pops one day, all I have to do is loosen that, put the steering back in place, and it's straight again. Again, no welding, no nothing. So that's cool. But, so yeah, you can see the bike with an arm. When the wheels are straight, the arm is pretty much parallel. Fucking wasps. So you can see the arm is pretty much 90 degrees this way. And then I have the tempo connecting rod thing, or whatever. Freaking bald socket thingy. Which is welded to a piece of rod, taking that 90-degree angle to this 90-degree angle. And then we have just a little bit reinforcement here. And because of the way the steering works, this rod here actually moves side to side a little bit and up and down. So as you will see here, the rod actually goes from side to side just because of the way all my leveraging works. So that's why the hole in the frame has to be so big, is for it to clear. The reason I did that is look at the steering angles that I still have. Most lawnmowers with handlebars will not have stock steering ratio, which I do. So I still have full lock, which is like ridiculous. And show you underneath. Just make sure we're not leaking gas anywhere. Oh, we're leaking everything else, so it's not like a big deal. Okay, so here we have the stock tractor arm. I put a new, it's new, but I have another tempo replacement for when this goes. But it's tight enough, I'm not worried about it. So yeah, stock bar goes up around the steering, as you can see, and up through the floor. I was basically gonna do all of this below the floor, but then you run into these guys and you don't want your steering fucking with your belts. So that's why I put it all up here, because basically there's nothing in there and it's got all the space it wants to move that huge bar around and work the steering. But it's pretty friggin' simple. In theory, you basically have a straight bar going from this connection to this connection, is basically what's going on. Straight bar. But you have to weld in the angles and stuff to get around the engine. So that's what I ended up with. And like I said, guys, I've been trail riding a couple times now, and actually really surprised at how sturdy it was and how stable it was, especially compared to the stock steering wheel. Actually, if you compare, oh, I haven't uploaded the videos yet, but if you can see it on Dan's page. But anyway, if you watch the old single cylinder me driving down the trails, things all over the place. Freaking steering wheels like this. But these, like, yeah, you can see how much play there is. So